We are now being recorded. Okay. Yung sa laptop lang ang gamit ko. Anyway, so let's start. I am now giving the floor to the discussants, and like what I said the last time, every now and then I'm gonna be supplementing the topics or the ideas, the concepts that these students will be sharing with us. Okay, and also if I ask some questions, I have here with me my handy dandy notebook. I'll be recording the students who will participate actively for the recitation. Alright? So as you know, your recitation is 25% of your final grade, midterm and final. So everybody is expected to be active. Same is true if the discussants will be throwing questions. And if you answer, I will also be recording that as your recitation. Okay? Basta nagpapakitang gilas, nagiging active, lahat yon I'll be recording that. Tatarakan ko na lang kayo. Okay? So with that being said, I am now giving the floor to the discussants. The floor is yours. Go. Alright, while we are waiting for the presentation of Group 1. Ito na pala. Sige, sige. And this is... Oh, nawala. Sige lang. Perhaps let me start while you are setting the presentation up. So, hindi ko alam kung mape-preempt ko yung discussion ng group 1, no? Pero allow me to kick off the session. So, our first lesson is like a review of the literary elements, most in particular the short story elements, okay, with regard to fiction. But before that, may I ask, okay, mag-start na tayo sa recitation. What are the two, ano bang term doon? Okay, what are the two division of literature? Yes, Sir Jean? Fiction and non-fiction. Tama naman. Pero before the fiction and non-fiction, we still have, that's correct I'm not telling that you're not correct. So, tama yun. Pero before that, there's this like general division or types of literature before the fiction and non-fiction. Perhaps with regard to structure. Yes, John Earl? Okay, very good. So, prose and poetry, John Earl. Crane siya. Again, Tamiyo's answer is correct. Literature is yes divided into fiction and non-fiction. But with regard to structure, literature has to be divided or is being divided between the prose and poetry. So by the time that you teach your students about literature, perhaps let's say you're gonna start with short story, elements of short story. It is better to inform them that before short story, literature is the general term. Okay, and when we say literature, everybody knows what it is. So you have to tell them the division, which is the prose and then the poetry. Kasi po, unfortunately, some other students up until this moment, especially the secondary high school, hindi nila alam that there is this so-called prose and poetry. Some of them, ang alam lang nila is that literature can be divided perhaps into short story and poem. So, yun lang yung term na alam nila. So, it is better to inform them that actually, it is divided into prose and poetry. And they could easily identify the difference between prose and poetry by their structure. Sige nga, pasensya na miss ba natin, no? Konting ano lang to, recap. I just really wanna ask if most of you are already familiar with this. So, with that being said, can someone please differentiate prose and poetry? Yung isang madaling ano lang distinction between prose and poetry. Yes, Ong? Okay. Okay, very good. Actually, that's the easiest way to let students identify between the prose and poetry. I myself, ewan ko kung naalala ni Miss Banate yan, that was also like the way I differentiate the prose and poetry. Kasi in that way, the students will easily identify, oo nga no, if it's poem, the structure is in line and stanza. Whereas if it's prose, it's more on in sentences and paragraph. Importante yun na it is very important to let your students know the difference between prose and poetry. And then, Miss Tamu's answer is also correct. Okay? We also have to let them know the difference between the fiction and non-fiction. Sige nga, can someone please tell me the difference between fiction and non-fiction? Yes, apart from the discussant. Sige, labas muna tayo sa discussant. Yes, Mr. John. Okay, so again, very good. If you will tell that with your students, oo nga no. Okay. Remember, why am I telling you this? I am asking this based on your knowledge, based your schema, because you cannot just read definitions from a text with your students. You have to really come up with your own definition, easier terms, so that your students can easily grasp and comprehend the terms you are telling them. Okay? Kaya sinimulan ko siya sa ganun. So that's good, Mr. John Air Tugade. Okay, wait lang. John Air lang na record ko. Mr. Tugade. Okay, so fiction and non-fiction can easily be differentiated or identified based on if it's a fact or based on reality, if it's real or not real. As a matter of fact, you can also make use of the term fantasy, 'di ba? Though hindi siya fiction is not always fantasy, 'di ba? As long as it is just created from the imaginative point of view of a writer, automatically that is fiction. It doesn't have to have like powers, magic, or like fantasy, okay? Please clear that with your minds, and by the time that you teach that with your students, i-prepare nyo na yung mga simple terms nyo. Okay? Hindi yung nakabase tayo sa definition ng book. Lalo na if we're gonna be utilizing college materials. Okay? So now that I have already checked that you have the basic knowledge of literature, I am now giving the floor to Miss Banade. Miss Mary Rose. Okay. Earl. Okay, cringe. Gcash na lang daw, Gcash. Wala bang Gcash? Okay. Ninonote ko yung sumasagot ha. For everybody's information. Okay, next. Aba, Charlie. Okay. Oh, okay. Flat. Uh, oh, I know that. Fade. Call a friend though. Call a friend. Gayos. Hmm. Gayos. POV. Yes. Gayoso. Okay. Hear it. Hard audience. Mhm. Characters. Mhm. Excuse me, Miss Banate. Can we go back to the flat and round character? Again, apart from Miss Banate, can somebody tell us like the difference between the flat and the round character? Sige, Miss Regine. Wait lang, Miss Banate, ah. I just want to confirm something. Yes, Miss Regine. Parang, hindi ba baliktad, Miss Regine? Ah, yeah, parang, your definitions are correct, pero parang feeling ko, the flat character is from the word itself, flat, and simple. His or her character from the beginning to end is just very simple-minded, and at the same time, it doesn't change. Parang feeling ko, yun. And then, on the other hand, the round character, ayan, from the complex, three-dimensional character, so there could be like a change of heart. Okay? Parang, pero at least, natama mo yung definition. So, thank you, Miss Regine. And also, I like the way Miss Regine discussed the definitions between the flat and then the round character. But if I'm not mistaken, there is like another term for that. Yung parang from beginning to end, hindi nagbago yung character niya. And then from the beginning to end, there's a change of heart. But all the more, the flat character and then the round character is this. From the definition you see in the monitor, the flat character is that ito yung mga yung parang mga simpleng character sa story na parang their role are not so significant that it doesn't change over the course of the story. Pag mabait siya, sabi nga ni Miss Regine, which is correct, mabait na siya noon. Hindi na siya nagbabago. Okay? On the other hand, the round character kasi, when we term the word complex, you can search that in the internet. Ito yung mga main characters o yung mga protagonists na hindi sila yung parang mga role model. Just like Shrek. Okay? Perhaps some of you know Shrek, right? Shrek is not actually a very good model in terms of righteousness. Shrek at the beginning of the story is a bad character. Kaya siya ogre, di ba? So parang may mga decision siya na hindi tama, na mali. But, you know, over the course of the story, nagkakaroon siya ng mga realizations. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na round character. Hindi siya one-dimensional or two-dimensional na pag siya yung bida, mabait lang siya. Very upright. Okay? Very dignified. Okay? If you have really watched the story or the movie of Shrek, we all know, especially the Shrek 1, na Shrek was an ogre. Everybody does not like Shrek because sometime in the past, he has committed some, not so good, not so good deeds. Kaya siya parang bukod sa mukha niya, kinaayawan siya ng mga tao. Mainitin yung ulo niya, stuff like that. Di ba parang si Fiona lang yung excuse me, parang si Fiona lang din yung nagpabago ng character niya. Okay? And for sure, you have heard of the term bida kontra bida. Okay, have you heard of the term bida kontra bida? Okay, the bida kontra bida uh, does not embody the very righteous, the very dignified character or virtue na sinasabi ni Miss Banate kanina. So, ang mga bida kontra bida, perhaps they are like matapang, 'di ba? Lumalaban sila, bigyan pala ng story, palaban na sila. Meron silang mga not so good intentions, but they are the bida because the story revolves around them. Okay? That's why they became like the protagonists of the story. But it doesn't necessarily mean, why am I telling you this, class? Why am I telling you this? Kasi gusto ko, this is contemporary literature. Okay? When we talk about, sorry no, parang napepre-em ko na ata sila Miss Banate. Sabi ko sa inyo eh. Pasensya na kayo, no? Oh, ayan, sorry na agad ha, Miss Banate. Oo. Anyway, as I was saying, uh, this is contemporary literature. Okay? When we talk about contemporary literature, this is a work of fiction. Ayan, nabanggit na ni Miss Banate kanina. This is a work of fiction, but the themes, the ideas, the concepts, the virtues will more likely be based on real life situations, based on reality. Okay? Kaya most often than not, the characters could be round characters. Sila yung mga nagkakamali, pero bumabangon muli. Sila yung pwedeng may mga bad intentions or negative intentions, but at the end of the story, makikita natin na parang perhaps they could have a change of heart, stuff like that. Hindi ito yung mga magical, fantasy type of story. Okay? This is contemporary literature. Ewan ko kung mababanggit later on nila Miss Banate. Kaya ayoko mo nang i-preempt. Okay? Tapos Miss Banate, no, medyo, sige, I'll try to euphemize it. Hindi, wag na pala. I'll try to correct the term you used earlier. Kasi, can we go back to the definition of character? Miss Banate, Miss Mary Rose. Sige pa. Ayan, okay. Yeah, that one. I could recall you mentioning that character is, ano sabi mo, parang person or animals. Tama ba ako? Correct me if I'm wrong. Parang yun yung nabanggit ni Miss Banate. No? That's correct. Okay, tama yun. However, please take note of this, teachers of literature. Characters, let's use the term creature. Creature. Okay? Sir, bakit po creature? When we use the term creature, that is the reason why, as you can see in the definition, the term is figure. Okay? It does not isolate the characters to being only human beings or animals. Because as we know, anything can be a character. As a matter of fact, if you have watched like Beauty and the Beast, 'di ba? Dun sa Beauty and the Beast, the characters are talking teapot, talking wardrobe, talking giant clock, 'di ba? Talking ano pa ba? Chair, stuff like that. They are not human beings, though basically they parang mga cursed humans sila. But over the course of the story, they are not human beings. They're not even animals, Miss Banate. Okay? They are just something. Okay? They are objects. Nevertheless, since they perform actions in the story, they are characters. So, by the time that you have students already, I want you to put in their minds that when we talk about character, the character in the story does not necessarily mean the person, the human being, or the animals. Okay? So, use the term figure or creature. In that way, they could easily realize that anything can be a character. Importante yun kasi when you ask your students to write their own story, tapos medyo pa-fantasy tayo, lalo na mga bata, dun at dun sila pupunta. Pwede sila mag-isip ng any character, anything, any creature, any figure in the story. As long as these characters perform the action in the story, they can be character. Okay? So, thank you, Miss Banate. And on top of that, please, let's not isolate also the students by just characterizing the characters into protagonist and antagonist, okay? Meron pa nga tayong confident, confident is the sidekick. Meron tayong dynamic character. Ayan, nabanggit ni Miss Banate, very good. We have like the round character, the flat character. There are different ways of, ano ba yung tawag doon? There are different types of characters. Okay? Kaya siguro ako, personally, pag nasa field na kayo, do not isolate your students by just telling them the characters are just protagonist and antagonist. Okay? Maganda nalalaman nila, lalo na kapag napunta kayo sa senior high school, grade 10, you have to really level up their knowledge. Kaya nga tayo spiral progression, di ba? Siguro naman by this time, you have heard of the term spiral progression. O sige nga, para sa ating recitation, I'm just curious. Can somebody please tell me what is a spiral progression? Anybody? Third year? Okay. So, you have no idea. When we talk about spiral progression, in DepEd, in particular, you'll notice that the lesson being taught in grade 7 is also being taught in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. Diba, Miss Benate, nung grade 8 ka sa akin, napag-aralan mo ang story elements. When you were in grade 9, perhaps, napag-aralan nyo ulit ang story elements. Grade 10, napag-aralan ulit ang story elements. That is what we call spiral progression. Okay? The purpose of the spiral progression is for the mastery of the competencies. Ayoko makarinig ng ano dito ha, competency. Okay, we are all English majors. Okay, it's not competency, it's competency. Okay, the stress is at the beginning, the first syllable, competency. Okay, ma-arty tayo eh. It's not competency. Tigas-tigas ang competency, no? Anyway, so ayun, that is the purpose of the spiral progression. Why am I telling that to you? Okay, kasi that would be the time that you will level up the information you are feeding your students. Kunyari ganito, nung grade 7 sila, ang tinuro mo lang is protagonist, antagonist. Pagdating ng grade 10, dinagdagan mo na. Sinabi mo na meron tayong confident. Sinabi mo na mayroon tayong ganito. Pagdating ng grade 9, dinagdagan mo ulit yung terms. Okay, that is what we call spiral progression. Same competency is being taught in different grade levels, but it is being leveled up. Okay? Mas, sabi nga yung term, let's use the term, mas humahirap daw. But the truth of the matter is, it's not being mahirap. You are just giving them additional data or information. Kasi nga, as we grow old, ang, ideally, mas nagiging matibay na yung utak natin para sa mas maraming information. Okay, anyway, diba? Character pa lang yan, ha? Sige na, I'll try to behave na. Okay. Sige, Miss Benate, the floor is yours again. I'm really sorry. Behave na muna ako. Ayan, flat character. Okay, so we're done with this. Ayan, flat, go. Yeah. Yeah. Narrator. All knowing, yes. Mm. Okay. Yan. So, may I, again, Miss Benate? Oo. Sabi ni Miss Benate, wala akong choice, sir. Sige lang. Okay. So, this is important. No? This is what I'm telling you earlier. Discussing POV with your students is a good way of leveling up, excuse me po, leveling up their knowledge about story elements. Kasi, uh, sa grade 7 siguro, medyo let's not discuss pa what is POV or point of view. Okay, even with grade 8. But by the time that you teach grade 9 and grade 10, definitely you have to present to them what is POV. This is important. Especially sa grade 9, grade 10, this is now the level wherein we are already asking our students to write their own story. Okay, I don't know if what grade level your teachers ask you to write story, pero parang better to ask the students grade 9 and grade 10 to really write their own. Having said that, POV is an additional element, which is good. Balikan lang natin ng konti, no? Kasi medyo nalito ata si Miss Banate. Miss Banate, sige, can we go back to first and second POV? Alright. So, tama naman yung mga sinasabi mo kanina. Don't you worry. Okay. The first person POV is that the narrator in the story is one of the characters. Okay. Tapos, lahat ng nangyayari sa story, yun ay base sa kanya. Kumaga parang, we do not know what's happening in some other characters unless unless the narrator characters saw them. Okay? Kunyari, have you watched or read the novel The Great Gatsby? Okay, I don't know if you have watched The Great Gatsby, pero that was the novel I've mastered when I was in college. Kasi nung college ako, meron kaming parang literature. Meron kaming minamaster na literature or novel. And one of the novels I've mastered is The Great Gatsby, which happened to have like a movie version late 2016, 2017. Si Leonardo DiCaprio yung naging bida. So The Great Gatsby, the POV is first person. That is a POV of Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay? Si The Great Gatsby. Pero ibang character yon. Okay? Hindi, sorry. The POV is not from Leonardo DiCaprio. Siya si The Great Gatsby. Pero the POV is from... Oh, I forgot the name. Pero yung bida sa Spider-Man 1, kung kilala niyo yun, so parang si Peter Parker, siya yung bida doon eh. Okay. POV niya yun. So, ibig sabihin, everything that happened in the story was based on his knowledge. Was based on his experience. Nonetheless, ang kinukwento niyang story ay story ni Gatsby. Diba? Napaka-interesting. The story is very interesting. Kasi, ang kinukwento niya, hindi niya story. Ang kinukwento niya, si Great Gatsby. So, he was trying to narrate or take into account the story of the Great Gatsby based on sa mga pagkakataon na he saw Great Gatsby based on their interactions. So, that is an example of first POV. Okay? Yung character dun sa story, siya yung nagkukwento based on his experience. So, we do not know what's going on in the minds of other characters. Basta kung paano niya nakikita yung story, yung buhay ng bawat isa, dun niya nire-retell. On the other hand, the second person point of view, normally, nangyayari to if the characters are limited. Okay? Siguro naman, ito, alam nyo to. Little Prince. Hindi nyo alam yung Little Prince. Nakakainis kayo. Papaluin ko kayo. Naku, dapat yung mga yan, alam nyo. Alam ni Ong, Little Prince. Okay? So anyway, that's like a good example of the second person POV. Okay? Nag-uusap lang sila ng isa pang character. Okay? So, nagkakaroon pa, it's still limited. Kasi parang the story is being recounted based again on these limited characters. There are some other yung sila Fox, ayan, sila Rose, yun. Papaluin ko kayo, hindi nyo alam ang Little Prince, ha? It's very an iconic story. Anyway, and then of course, the third POV, ito na yung gamit na gamit, Miss Banate, ayan. The third POV, though, tama rin si Miss Banate, there are two kinds of third POV, the limited, and then the unlimited, which is the omniscient, okay, the all-knowing, ayan. So, ito na yung pinaka-ginagamit to. When we talk about omniscient point of view, this is the time that the narrator in the story could be or couldn't be one of the characters, but definitely, alam niya lahat na nangyayari, okay? Kahit wala siya doon sa story na yon, he knows what's happening in the mind, even in the mind, in the thoughts of the other characters. That's why all-knowing. Even the feelings of the characters, he or she can tell it, the narrator can tell it. Lahat ng nangyayari. the feelings, the other sides of the story, everything that's going on in the story is being recounted by this POV. Whereas, the limited POV is that the narrator knows what's going on in the story, all of the things, all of the events, parts of the story. Nonetheless, the narrator couldn't fathom the feelings or the emotions of the characters. Kaya niya lang sabihin na parang may pinagdadaanan si Harry Potter, stuff like that, pero hindi niya kayang sabihin ano yung totoong nararamdaman ni Harry Potter. Ang ginagawa na lang niya, the narrator tries to describe what's going on in the story so that it will she'll just leave it to the readers or to the viewers what could be the correct emotion or what is happening on the mind of this character. Pero hindi niya literally sinasabi, malungkot si Harry Potter. Okay? Depressed si Harry Potter. Indirectly, hindi niya pwedeng sabihin yun. Kasi nga, limited lang. Nonetheless, the narrator knows everything that's happening in the characters, but not their thoughts, but not their emotion. That's why it's limited. Okay? So, ayan. Let's continue. Mukhang aabutin tayo ng alas 12 dito. Sige, go. Ay, excuse me, Miss Banate. Oo. Can we go back to setting? Pasensya na, no? Hinahanap na nila ako. Okay. Setting, time and place. Okay, tama naman, time and place. I just want you to please emphasize with your students that when we talk about setting, it's not just place. Kasi most of the time, the students, they just isolate the term setting to place. Saan nangyari yung story? Which is not. Okay? Setting is actually the combination of time and place. As a matter of fact, some other stories, like historical series or film, kunya sa K-drama, di ba? Mahilig sila sa historical. So, the time is very important. Okay? Because this is part of the history. Kaya please take note, I want you to emphasize with your students that setting is time and place. Matter of fact, the setting has its own elements. Hindi lang talaga siya time and place. When you research more about the setting, meron pa yung mga weather condition, part yan ng setting. Kaya nga, pag tinuturo ko yun sa mga bata, 'di ba? Pansinin niyo, pag nagbe-break na yung mga magjowa sa story, anong weather? 'Di ba? Bigla na lang umuulan. Kasi nga, it adds to the emotion in the story. Tapos pag masaya yung story, saan sila pumupunta? Ay, masaya yung couple, where do they go? Sagot ng mga bata, sa amusement park, sir. 'Di ba? Yung mga couple, pag masaya sila, bigla-bigla na lang sila nag-amusement park. Tapos dapat sunny. Tapos pwede ring umulan kasi magkikiss na sila. 'Di ba napansin niyo yung mga 'yon, 'di ba? Aminin niyo. Okay, that's why setting has its own elements. Pati yung status quo. Okay. So, paano yung status quo? Yung social status sa mga characters, it also adds to the setting. Pag mayaman, we all know mga mansion na mga bahay nila. 'Di ba? That's setting. Pag mahirap, it's very important na sila ay mga nasa slum area. Okay? Pangit yung damit nila. Again, part of setting. Okay? There are different elements of setting pa po that you need to discuss with your students, especially pag grade 10, senior high school na sila. Okay? So, let's continue. And then we have, okay, we have the style. Okay? Ito importante to ha. Excuse me. Let's go back to style. There are, especially the famous authors, some famous authors, they have their own style, they have their own theme na tinatawag. Okay? Ang kukulit na Oo. Basta yun. So, I want you to explore other famous writers, even if it's not contemporary literature. Pero I just want you to figure out what is the style of these particular characters. Uh, Edgar Allan Poe. Have you heard of Edgar Allan Poe? Ayan, yung iba oo, yung iba hindi. Uy, magbasa-basa kayo, papaluin ko kayo. English major sa Edgar Allan Poe. Sa Edgar Allan Poe, ang style niya sa pagsusulat, even the theme, more on dark stories yun sa kanya. Okay? Medyo, hindi naman morbid, pero talaga medyo blue. Medyo gloomy yung story niya. Tapos parang it has a lot of dark elements. Okay? So, yun yung style niya. Tapos, syempre, dahil siya ay I forgot kung saan siya. Hindi ko alam kung Latin ba siya, Latino ba siya, or French ba siya. So, you'll notice yung words na gamit niya is medyo Old English, stuff like that. Okay? So, that's also part of the style. Ayan, no? Arrangement of words. Siyempre, we all know that Old English has a different arrangement, right? Compared to our contemporary English. Yun yung mga bagay na as English major like us, medyo ano tayo doon, medyo tinitingnan natin yun. Okay? Kaya, when you start writing your literary analysis, I really want to at least check if you have checked and examined the style of the author. Gusto ko rin makita yun sa literary analysis nyo, no? Okay, sige, let's continue, Miss Banate. Zita. Okay. May story pala. Okay, they should have watched it. You did not watch it? Okay. If the discussants or your classmates are asking you to do this, to do that, you are all obliged to do so, especially if it has something to do with our discussion, ha? Okay. So, perhaps next time. Sige, let's continue, Miss Benate. Judgmental si Banate, no? Joke lang. Joke lang. Sige, go ahead. Ah, Kreensya. Si Ong, sige. Mr. Reteche? Soon. Ah, meron pa. Bye. Uh, okay. Kate. Excuse me, Miss Banate. I'm really sorry. Parang may nag-message. Sino to? Faye. You have pala 9 a.m. class? Okay. So, can we continue the discussion this afternoon? Kala nyo, no? The rest, matutuloy pa rin yung gusto kong oras. Joke lang. Pero, the discussion is very good. And this is actually like a good lesson. So, I really want to continue discussing the lesson. Can we have it by 5 p.m. this afternoon? Another 1 hour? Kasi parang there are still 2 discussants. Ayan. Thank you for your thumbs up. So, Miss Kate, okay lang ba? Do you have class later on by 5 p.m.? Wala naman na. Okay. Sir, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be able to attend the lesson this afternoon later po. Okay. You have work on... Sige. You are excused. Okay. Pasalubong na lang. Pasalubong. Ano na lang. Sige. But hopefully, everybody can still attend apart from Ong. Okay? So, with that being said, can you now stop sharing Miss Banate? Let's just have a picture, a photo op. Mabilis lang. Okay. Again, we will continue our discussion by 5 p.m. This afternoon. Okay. Bakit 5 p.m.? Kasi cut ng 3 p.m. ang klase sa DepEd. Ay, pati pala kayo cut. Nag-chat na si Ma'am Tita. Oo. Pero parang, can we still proceed with the discussion this afternoon? Wala naman ata kayong ibang ganap. May date ba kayo mamaya? Baka may ka-date kayo. Wala naman. Wag muna kayo mag-date. Tsaka na kayo mag-date. Mag-break muna kayo, ha? Oo. Can we have a picture muna, Miss Famey? Sa Famey ba yung walang camera? Okay. Picture muna tayo, no? Gina G pa man din si Miss Banate mag-discuss, di ko kasalanan, ha, Miss Banate. Okay, sige. Picture tayo. Ayan. 1, 2. Okay, another one. Last na to. Wait lang. Okay, thank you so much. Let's call this a day. Attendance, ha. The attendance is already available in our GCR. Goodbye, everybody. Malilate na rin ako. Bye-bye. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye. Thank you.